Now we move on to game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, and what a game it was. An overtime win for the Heat, featuring this play by Bam Adebayo. Jalen, take us through this block.
Great drive by Jayson Tatum late in the basketball game by Jimmy Butler, who ushers him, understanding that Bam is there. Terrific power because he gets the ball right before it goes into the rim. Timing. And when you talk about rim protection, that's to the utmost degree. Now, when people start talking about greatest plays of all time, you got to put that in context based on when in the season it takes place. Like, is a championship on the line? Is it the finals? But there have been some great blocks throughout this playoff. James Harden late in the game against Dort for the late three. Kawhi Leonard, the one-fingered middle block, and this one. A couple signature blocks that have taken place.
Absolutely. And that was the play that sort of closed the game, but that got them the lead was this play and other plays by Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter. Now, I've seen all the stats, and everyone's told me that Jimmy Butler, of qualifying players, the worst jump shooter in the NBA. Well, guess what? In the fourth quarter, when he rises up to shoot from three, it goes in. So I don't care about the stat. Throw him out the window, because that play right there, going to the basket against Jayson Tatum, giving up all that height and getting them the lead, was so special. What is it about Jimmy Butler that everybody calls him a closer?
Because his personality is that of an irritant, and failure isn't an option in his mind. He's the best player in the game. I'm telling you, Chris Paul has this, Marcus Smart has this, and they're all different talents in their own right. That's why it seems he rises in the fourth quarter, Jacoby. When you look at the regular season stats, one of the worst three-point shooters in the league. Scissor kicking his leg, jumping into people, and they still go in because the Heat run their offense below the free throw line to allow him to get a rhythm on post-ups and on free throws. Then as the fourth quarter comes, he's more confident to take his game out the three-point range if he needs to.
It didn't seem like Kemba Walker had his confidence. What did the Heat defense do to stifle Kemba?
It was also the Raptors. They're doing a great job of zoning his pick and rolls and forcing him to play in the crowd. And when Kemba drives left, he loves to do that step back. But you got to stay on his right shoulder and right hip and make him continue to go to the basket and make a left-handed play or a layup at 6 foot tall. So they've done a good job of contesting his shots and making him play defense on the other side. They're going to need him to play a lot better, and he acknowledged that.
It was so interesting to see Coach Spoelstra adopt the zone that the Raptors used effectively against the Celtics, even though the Heat had not played very much, if any, zone leading up to that game. Now, there's something I said yesterday that Daniel Theis is going to be a key to this series, and he needs to stay out of foul trouble. Well, not only did he not stay out of foul trouble, he only ended up with 4 points, took 3 shots from the floor when he was out there. Do you think that they will continue to sort of prey on Theis on both ends of the floor?
See, in the East, your guys that are playing the 4 and 5 or power forward in the center, they're legitimately sized. They're 6'9", 250, 260. You know, your 5 is, 6'11", 7 foot tall. But in the East, you could get away with playing smaller ball. The Celtics have done it all season with Theis as their biggest guy and or Tatum or Brown being their taller guys. But when you go against a squad like the Heat, they can play taller, bigger, but also play smaller and put guys like Crowder out there who can play in theory against Theis, alongside Bam, who could do a lot of switching. And so the versatility of the Heat front line is also something that garnered him to be in foul trouble. He's another player along with Kemba. They're going to need to play a lot better.
Jalen, I'm so glad that you brought up Jay Crowder, because I love Jay Crowder, and he was so good when he was on the Celtics. Remember, he went to Cleveland and just kind of disappeared, and then he was in Memphis and no one really talked about him. In the bubble, in Orlando, he has been a true revelation. We all thought it was going to be Bam Adebayo who would stop Giannis Antetokounmpo. It was actually Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is shooting like 40-something% from three, and it was no different last night. 22 points, and he was 5 for 9 from three. Can they continue to rely on Crowder in this way?
I believe so, especially if he's going to be wide open like that. Shout to Marquette between Doc Rivers and Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, and now Crowder getting love. But here's the deal. He's a former Celtic. So is Olynyk. So when you've been in a locker room that had the same coach and a lot of the same players, you should know how the secret sauce is made. And I'm pretty sure they're sharing that with Eric Spoelstra. And that's why, to your point about zoning, they zoned in the regular season also against the Celtics more than any other team. And now it's carrying over to the playoffs.
Jalen, if we're talking about the Heat, we're going to talk about my white guys, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. Tyler Hero was great last night. Look at that stat line. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Huge buckets from Hero, especially in the fourth quarter of the Eastern Conference Finals in his rookie year. No fear whatsoever, pulling up from everywhere. But I will say this, Duncan Robinson, I'm going to need more from you. I believe in you, Duncan Robinson. You need to believe in you, too. I believe in you, Duncan Robinson. Represent for us.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.